right. We're here. We have no intro today.
Perri, well, you've done the intro, so just like modify it and give it to us. What is it?
He's Metz. He's Tass. Wait, it's not Metz. He's Perri. He's Tass. It's the Perri Tassoul Show.
There you go.
What's up, my friend?
How we doing?
I'm good. Excited
Good.
for next week.
Yeah, gonna be great. I just literally got off the phone with Metzger and said we're at like 350 next week.
Metzger told me he's in. I was on the phone with him when you were calling, and he's somewhere in the Caribbean, U.S. Virgin Islands somewhere.
He is standing on the beach having a conversation with me on the phone. Yeah. Yep. So good for him. That's exciting. Excited for next week for sure. I'm excited to see everybody in person. We talk to everybody on a regular basis on the phone, but it's always great to get together and break bread together, have a good time, and help to level up the industry. So
that's the goal, man.
Excited.
Constantly in the forefront. And one of the people we're going to be talking to is going to be there as well. He's actually a platinum sponsor of the event. Great guy, been in the industry for a long time. Part of Empower Health. It's Mike Storm. So he'll be jumping on here in a second. I've got some experience with him recently. I know you've got some experience with the program in the past, but What do you say? We bring him in?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the incomparable Mike Storms.
Hey, guys.
Hey,
what's going on, sir?
Hey, everybody. It's a beautiful day here in Louisiana. Sunny skies, 72 degrees. Life is good.
I woke up here. We had a freezing 50-degree morning for us here in Florida.
We did too, and then the sun came out, so it's good to go.
Over there in Wisconsin. But
are you guys done talking about the warm weather? we literally got through November, December, January, February, and I'm like, oh, we're on home stretch, and we just got pounded with snow in March.
Blizzards.
Yeah, it's been brutal. They can push the stop button anytime on the snow now, so it'll be good to get to Orlando next week for sure and get some warm weather, which would be great.
It's going to be beautiful here. It's going to be beautiful weather.
Yep. And we've got and I know, Mike, you were involved in was with the New Orleans Saints, right? For quite a few years.
Yeah, I was the martial arts coach for the Saints for 6 years and assistant defensive line coach under Coach Ditka for 2 years. But I had already coached the San Diego Chargers, University of Virginia, and then Saints, and then of course since then, Miami Dolphins, University of Nebraska, Louisiana Tech, Louisiana Lafayette, University of North Carolina, East Carolina University Pirates, back to University of Virginia, back to ULL, back to Louisiana Tech. And then last year I was the skill development coach with my combat football system for Tulane. We started 112th at the beginning of the year. We finished 9th. Wow. And we were the one of only 3 other teams that beat 5 ranked teams in the country. And the other 4 were in the playoffs. And then we beat USC in the Cotton Bowl.
You guys came on really strong last year. Really?
There's a phenomenal coaching staff. Coach Fritz is the best head coach I've ever worked for. The strength coach is one of the top 3 in all of college and professional football. And then the players just did the work, believed in each other, supported each other. And it was just a privilege to be a part of it. Going in a couple of weeks for my spring interview to see about this year. So excited to continue doing that. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome.
That's amazing. And we won't go down that path a whole bunch, but I mean, that's some pretty big credentials, my friend. How did you get involved in that to begin with?
Well, great question. Again, everything in my life that's good, other than, from God, that I'm very grateful for my blessings. Everything in my life came from martial arts that's good. My martial arts instructor, still to this day of 40 plus years, is Arsenio Advincula, retired Marine Master Sergeant, lives in California, and he was the martial arts coach for the Chargers and brought me in to assist him. And then when I left the Marine Corps and left California, a coach from the Chargers got a job at the Saints and then hired me. And then that's it rolled from there. And met my wife when I had a booth at the North Shore Kids Fair, and she was working there 28 years ago. And so everything that's good in my life came from martial arts and training and owning a school or being part of a solid organization like Maya, because it's about, the people that we bring into our lives through this, that we get to serve, and then the things we learn to make us better men, better women, better spouses, better parents, better coaches, better leaders, better mentors.
Right on.
I was going to say, where did you get your start in the martial arts?
So I started, back to football. So I grew up in New Jersey, and my football coach, when I was in high school, I was fast and nasty, but a little light in the ass, as my coach would say. And so when I was a freshman, I played on the varsity, and he was there were 6 of us. And he said, Mike, if you do martial arts, it'll really help you with your body mechanics and skill set for football. I was like, yeah, whatever. So summer of my sophomore year, I went with a friend of mine and started in Pompton Lakes, New Jersey. John Porter, who's one of the highest ranked Okinawan Goju guys in the U.S., started at his school. It was in the basement of a barbershop with no air conditioning or heating. And in the winter, we would run around the block barefooted in the snow. And there was no kids classes. It was just teens and above. And back when, it was a mouthpiece and a cup, this is 1978, guys. And you would wear those little cloth covered foam forearm fist guards from football. That's not what we sparred. And then over your foot too, it was the top of the foot and the shin with those cloth, thing with the pad about this thick and a cup and a mouthpiece. And we didn't have good mouthpieces, so we buy a football mouthpiece and cut the strap off. And it was fantastic. And I was hooked from the time I started, 45 years ago in Okinawan Goju, and then continued to train, and then found in 1986, I met Sensei Advincula, and I've been with him ever since.
That's great. That's great. Love it. Love it. Last thing on football. Jets are going to have a good team next year, huh?
I think that the Saints got Derek Carr. I think with who they got, they might be contender. The reason I have a job, the reason players come train with me, it's a quarterback league. And my main thing that I do in combat football is whoever controls the tackle box wins. So if I can get people's pass rush better, which is all I teach, and footwork better and vision better, or I can get the offensive lineman's hands and footwork better and posture better and breathing and balance, all the things we teach in martial arts, but applied to specific football position skills, they can get more sacks. So it's a quarterback league. So you get Aaron Rodgers to the Jets, they're immediately a better team, right? You get Derek Carr to the Saints, immediately a better team. You get Tom Brady to the down in Tampa Bay, they won a Super Bowl, and everybody goes, was it Brady or Belichick? So, probably both of them. Belichick's a genius, coach is a genius, but it upgrades your game immediately. Just like if you get an edge rusher who gets, the reason the Browns are still involved with stuff is because they have the #1 edge pass rusher in football. Right. So the quarterbacks, they have to game plan for the guy. They can roll out the other way. So then they roll the defense that way and stuff. So it makes things significantly different when you go to account for somebody that's really good.
Sure. So that's a lot of martial art history, a lot of football stuff you've been doing. So fast forward to today or a few years ago, what have you been up to?
Well, as I said before, we're super grateful and blessed for everything that martial arts has done for our family. We've had 4 schools in our main headquarters school. We own the building, and very, very blessed, great, team of instructors and just families that bought into our character-based leadership martial arts style, teaching very traditional Okinawan karate, Okinawan kobudo. Of course, my instructor is a Filipino American, so we do eskrima and we do foundational Brazilian jiu-jitsu and kickboxing and stuff. But white uniforms, with belts that, it was pretty simple. We really focused on service and character. And I was been a Maya member forever. back when we used to get those big giant boxes with the ads and the messages of the week and all that stuff. It's just been so fantastic. So to your point, about 4.5 years ago now, and you guys know me well, I was coming up on my 55th birthday, and I was like, you know what? I cannot impart to my students what I don't possess myself. If I'm asking these kids and these adults and these teens to be self-disciplined, the first discipline is what we put in our mouths, right? What we choose to eat and drink. So I was walking around, about 2:30. But here's my bullshit. Excuse me. Can I say that?
You're fine.
Here's my bullshit story. I'm 55. I got 3 surgeries, a back surgery, dislocated my shoulder, broke my nose 6 times. These are all cracked. That's fake. My neck hurts. My back hurts. I'm a Marine. I jumped out of airplanes and all this stuff. I used to say this to people. It's not the years of my body. It's all the mileage. And then I ran into a guy, started talking to him, and he's like, do you feel good? I was like, I get out in the morning like I'm the rusty tin man in the Wizard of Oz. I like limp to the bathroom, walking like Coach Ditka. Right? So, hey, Jason, how you doing, buddy? So I decided to give this program a shot, the Habits of Health program. So I did it. My joint pain went away in the first 2 weeks. I dropped a bunch of weight. My sleep was restored immediately. Sleep is the #1 habit of health. My energy and focus throughout the day. So my school got better because I had more energy at the end of the night. My team then got in great shape because I am the lead sled dog. So all my program director, all my instructors got in great shape. There was more energy in the building, more energy on the mats. And then the parents were just like, Sensei, did you have plastic surgery? What's with the jawline? And I was like, nah, I just started eating better. Are you killing yourself in the gym? No. I work out less than ever because exercise is only 15% of your health. So I stopped believing the lies I was telling myself. I love to lift weights. I eat with the defensive line. I love my food. I love my wine. I love feeling and looking like I'm 25 years old now, right? So we started health coaching. We added it to our school because why shouldn't your school have a health and wellness nutrition department? People need it. They're signing up at Jenny Craig or Weight Watchers or whatever, the Nutrisystems or whatever else, and you're already great coaches and they love and trust you. So we added a nutrition department to our school. Within less than 6 months, we were paying the mortgage on our building with this add-on program. And then it just continued to grow. So it's been, but the best thing is martial arts guys like us who work till 9 o'clock at night, they'd call me at 9:30 and be like, I still have energy. I feel amazing because they reignited their metabolism. So their schools get better. Their ambition grows. Their hope grows. Their energy and leadership grows. Their injuries go away, are greatly lessened. And, we spend our lives pouring into the community and other people. And so our self-care kind of ends up at the bottom of the list. Us ourselves deserve to feel great. And we all see the masters and high-ranking people dropping dead in their 50s, dropping dead in their 60s. Right. And, the top 10 killers of men and women are lifestyle illnesses. It's not, the joke is, hey, talked to a guy yesterday, I just signed up, by the way, who I think he's a Maya member. And he said, I've never had sleep this good in 25 years. What in the heck? And I said, it's nutrition. Your sleep is derived by your nutrition. So now he feels better. Now he has more energy on the mat, teaching his classes. So he's providing a better program based on him being reignited into the energy and passion.
Right on. And I think that, you hit on a couple key things there, right? Number one, and not everybody, but there's, you go to a martial art tournament or you go to an event and, you see a lot of people that are leading the martial arts industry, right? As school owners and instructors, but are not leading by great example from a health perspective, right? And by the way, I've fallen into that trap, right? I've fallen in that trap. And you're right. It's the martial art life. You can blame it on the martial art lifestyle, and you called the bullshit story, right? You can do that. And you say, well, look, I'm at the school at 1 o'clock and I'm done at 9 or 10 by the time I get home. Then I eat. What else am I supposed to do? Well, there's ways to fix all of those things. Right?
It's simple. Totally agree. And it just depends on this. It's, what do you want?
Yeah.
What do you want when you walk into a room at a school? Master so-and-so is coming in today to talk about self-confidence and self-discipline. And you waddle your backside in there like I did. People go, he's going to talk to our kids about self-discipline? But Mike, you don't understand. It's my metabolism. I have a family history of type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes is a lifestyle illness. Type 1 diabetes you're born with, right? So my wife and I are certified health coaches now, and we've just gone, to the deep end of the pool with this stuff, which is why we love mentoring martial arts school owners to help them with their passion in serving the community and serving as many people as possible. But what if you felt like your best self every day? Would that affect how your business grew?
Yeah.
Would that affect how you interacted with your spouse and your kids? If you had energy, like a lady I was talking to yesterday, another martial artist, she said, I used to have to spend all weekend taking care of stuff around my house because I was too tired to do it during the week and had to take an hour and a half nap every day. Now I keep up with my laundry, keep up with my house cleaning, keep up with my yard work, so the weekends are mine. Yeah. I mean, I can't get happier than hearing that from somebody. But yeah, feeling good is I want to live till I'm 112, but I want to still be doing martial arts, still be mentoring and coaching people. And to fulfill that dream and that mission and that vision I have for myself, I need to make some different choices, make some better choices.
I think Zig Ziglar said, positive thinking will allow you to do anything better than negative thinking will. But I think you could also make that quote, positive feeling will allow you to do things better than negative feelings will as well. Just the way you feel.
Sure.
I can attest to that.
Right. Well, yeah, we're going to talk more about that in Orlando, but we've been lied to by, and I'm sensitive to this fact because I have a couple of beautiful, wonderful doctors that my wife and I consult with. Your body has the ability to heal itself when you give it the fuel it needs to do the job. Your body gets two choices. I don't want to get too chemically technical here, but if you have high insulin resistance and high inflammation, your body has two choices: fight the inflammation, preventing disease, or optimize your cell, your neuropathway, your immune system, your skin, your muscles, your recovery, your joints, your bones, everything. It's always going to go to fight the inflammation war first, because that's its job, is to defend the body. So your body's breaking down. Our metabolism doesn't slow down until we're in our 70s. Our food and what we drink slows down our metabolism. Our lack of sleep slows down our metabolism. Our dehydration slows down our metabolism. Us thinking intense exercise wrecks your metabolism. Low intensity, steady state, 30 to 45 minute walk is what burns fat, not the elliptical machine.
That's me on the elliptical.
Yeah, that is for competitive athletes for cardiovascular conditioning, right? That, Orange Theory and CrossFit, they're great if you're going to go fight in a jiu-jitsu tournament. So the blue zones, right? I don't know what nationality you guys are, or what's, the Okinawans, the Sardinians, people in South America that live the longest and live well over 100, like they're healthy over 100. They don't have CrossFit gyms and high intensity training kickboxing gyms. And Orange Theory's there. The people walk everywhere. They walk everywhere. Mike, what should I do to increase my fat loss? Oh, you want to go for a 30-minute walk like you're late to an appointment. That's how you get rid of fat. That's how bodybuilders get rid of fat before a competition.
Interesting.
But no. Your doctor needs to put you on medicine. You need to take shots. You need to take pills. 85% of people that have gastric bypass or do the shots of the pills gain all the weight back and more in 2 years because they haven't changed their mindset or their habits around their self-care.
So how do you do that? How do you start with someone that is, and I know for me, right, it's like the gym thing, right? I remember people saying, well, the gym, just you go and it gets easier. Man, I was with a personal trainer for 4 years, and I don't know if it ever got easier. I always, the reason I did that was to hold me accountable because I had to show up because this guy.
Because you were paying.
Yeah, I was paying him, number one, but I'll tell you what, there's sometimes where, the extra sleep was worth the $30 I was going to pay for the trainer. And I would, hey, you can keep the money, man. I'm sleeping in today, right? But he would text me if my appointment was at 7 a.m. and it was 7:01 and I was, happened to be running late. He'd text me like, where are you? Where are you? So it was the accountability piece for me. But look, not everybody can do that. Not everybody can afford a personal trainer, right? So for me, I found that, and this is me personally, I have to be very conscious about getting in the right mindset. And typically what happens is it doesn't happen until I'm like, this is freaking ridiculous. I can't even bend over and tie my freaking shoe. Like I need to do, like you get to the point of like, you're at what I would say rock bottom, right? There's always another level to rock bottom, but you're at rock bottom. You're like, damn it, I need to make a decision. And then you make a decision. And then you start to see some results. You're like, oh, all right, now I'm back where I want to be. And like, oh, it's okay to have that beer. It's okay to eat that hamburger. And then all of a sudden, this is what you find that happens is it's this constant roller coaster. So how do you get someone like me, right? Or like that from where they are now, maybe in a mind state or mentally to where they want to be and then be consistent with that?
So it's a fantastic question. And it's really what the Habits of Health system. I don't coach my own system. Those of you that are listening, I coach a physician-created system. There's 8 different systems: nursing mothers, diabetics, people over 100 pounds, people that want to lose over 15 pounds, people want to lose under 15 pounds, teenagers, senior citizens, and people on thyroid medicine. All clinically proven, beautiful things. Here's what happens. To your point, what you're saying, Shane, is the pain has gotten so great, I got to take action. But as soon as you relieve that pain, hey, I don't feel like I'm going to vomit in my mouth when I tie my shoes. I'm going to go have a beer and a cheeseburger and a pile of fries the size of my head, right? Now, I eat hamburgers every week. Every week I eat hamburgers here at my house. I just don't eat the buns with them, right? People say, I can't give up bread. Okay. Bread is sugar. Bread is loaded with seed oil. It's going to cause heart disease. So, but once and the accountability piece, he said Shane said 2 very important things. The relief of the initial pain and pressure, then people fall off. Then the other part is the accountability. So one of the key things, why do you guys recommend that people call the did not show list? That's the accountability. Right. Why at my school do we send a miss you postcard in addition to the phone call? Personal touches. Because, God, Sensei's going to come. Are you coming to class today? They're going to come knock at my door, right? So the 2 pieces that make the biggest difference is one-on-one coaching, like you were talking about with your personal trainer, accountability on a weekly basis, and then check-in points, right? And then the other part is community. You got to be around it. The expression is we don't want to diet in the dark. I don't like the word diet because diet is something you go on and off of. We're looking for a long-term lifestyle change where you realize that you need to take care of yourself forever if you don't want, when you're in your 60s or 70s, your kids wiping your butt. And if we can be real for a second, do you want to be in a nursing home in your 70s? A lot of people will be, or they'll be dead. because of their choices. Well, Mike, I want to enjoy what I eat. I can tell you that comes from seasoning, not from the junk and garbage, right? You learn how to cook good. Learn how to use thyme and rosemary and pepper and salt and oregano and paprika and stuff like that. Season the food the way you like it. I live in Louisiana, man. It's all about the hot sauce, right? The spicy stuff. So the two things that people need, Shane, and we talk about it, lifelong transformation happens one healthy habit at a time. And the habits are developed gradually over time. And we start off, we meet people where they are. It's just like a white belt. You're going to, okay, it's your first class of white belt. Tonight, we're going to teach you how to do a spinning hook kick. Get the F out of here. That's just going to make everybody feel bad about themselves.
Right.
Today, we're going to teach you how to do a horse stance and a palm heel. I got it. I can do martial arts. I know Kung Fu. If you're a Matrix fan, right? Who doesn't love the Matrix, right? But so the first thing we do is, and thank you, Michael, for teeing me up right there as he's hitting his mason jar, hydration. The first habit of health is hydration. My brother-in-law is a neurologist. Over 50% of the people that come with him with chronic migraines don't drink any water. They come in for their appointment. He gives them a gallon jug and said, make an appointment in 90 days, come back, promise me you'll drink a gallon of water a day, or do your best to. Half the people migraines are cured. Joint pain, cured. Constipation, cured. Wrinkly, old, crappy looking. I'm 59 and I don't have a filter on my camera. My skin looks so different now because of my hydration habit and my nutrition, because your skin's the biggest elimination organ on your body. So when you eat right and you get out of an inflammatory state, your skin rejuvenates itself. So we start slow, we start steady, we start with accountability, and we start with community. Because like you're the same as the 5 people you spend the most time with. Don't diet in the dark. Like, you know, if you want to be around, if you want to become wealthy, you better have some wealthy friends who talk about investing more than they do spending. Talk about fruit. Well, I could go buy that $10,000 watch, or I could put it in this rental property. You know, those are the conversations you want to have. Health is the same way. If you have friends that are like, come on, you're no fun anymore. Eat the cheat. They're doing that because they feel so bad about their choices. It's the whole crab pot.
Right.
You know, they don't want you to. Michael, how many notches are you down on your belt?
I've had to add notches to my belt. So
He's had notches to it since we started this program. I can't even wear my belts anymore.
Yeah.
It looks ridiculous. There's too much hanging off the end. I would have to cut it. My waist went from a 42 to a 32 in 100 days, and it stayed that way for 4.5 years.
And when I say I had to add, I literally had to punch new holes into my belt. So because
To make it smaller, not bigger.
smaller.
Just so we're all on the same page.
Make it so. So, and the fun,
I've gone the other way where I've had to.
Oh, we all have.
I've had to add them on the other way.
you just put it on a lap thing, and like, so like what you say, I've got Dunlap's disease. What does that mean? My belly Dunlapped over my belt. Which is like a black belt, right? Where you just have this thing hanging over your belt. And you know, I want to be sensitive to folks that struggle with this because they don't have family support. There's, you know, they weren't raised in a family of origin that ever even talked about cooking. They bought things all the time, or they feel imprisoned in their own bodies, which I felt imprisoned in my injuries. I'm just going to be walking like this and feeling like this for a long time, rest of my life, man. And like I said, I feel like I'm 59. I feel like I'm 25 years old. And then I see guys, like I just saw somebody put in something that they were 60. The guy looks like he's 80 and he's a year older than I am. He's a martial artist, right? So the biggest thing is we have the power. You have the power to decide how successful your martial arts school is. Like something that I said back in 2009, 2010 at our school, and I'm saying now, I'm not participating in the recession. There's no recession in Storm's enterprises because I'll do double the work or triple the work to get the same results. Will you do that at your school? Will you stay at your school and return all messages before you go home at night? Will you return all emails the same day you get them? Will you drink 64 ounces or more of water every day to give your joints and your body what it needs? Will you dial in and get 7 to 9 hours of sleep so you can be at your best? You know, and it's a bunch of micro choices. You think about your health in your life, your marriage. Do you kiss and hug your spouse every day you see him? Walking in, walking out, greeting. Well, I got kids crawling up. My wife and I have 4 kids. Whatever. The most important thing your kids can see is you being kind and respectful and loving and showing attention to your spouse.
You know, Mike, you're hitting on something. I don't know if you want to share the story or not, and I'll kind of pre-frame it so you remember what I'm talking about. But you're talking about that home life, right? And sometimes we do things that we don't even realize. This happens in life. It happens in our business. It happens everywhere, right? And we're doing things that we don't even know that we're doing. And I don't know if you remember the story that I'm going to share, but or I'm going to ask you to share if you want, just about, you know, the dinner table and who's eating and who's eating first.
I still teach it.
Okay.
So my wife's the 4th degree black belt. We're a martial arts family. My wife's the 4th degree black belt. Both of my adult sons are 2nd. They say they're 3rds, but they were in college and didn't finish the test, so I never gave them the diploma. So they're not 3rds. They're need-ons. And both my daughters are black belts. They grew up in the school, working the summer camps, working aftercare, doing whatever we needed, teaching classes. So my wife, who is my co-health coach, martial arts instructor, ran one of our schools for 2+ years. She cooks, makes meals. Very good, wonderful meal planner, cooker. Although health doesn't require meal planning, by the way, you can do it easy. Don't make that. I don't have time to meal prep. I got an answer for it. Every smoke screen you're going to throw at me, I got an answer for it. So we had a rule at my house when growing up. My kids is, I don't know if any of you, I was guilty of this. Mike Storms did this. I was an insensitive, non-contributing a-hole. I would sit down, wait for my wife to put dinner on the table, eat it, and then get up and go do something. So we implemented something to give our kids and me, Mike Storms, the asshole. Oh, can I say that?
We'll bleep it out. It's fine.
Bleep it out.
We'll bleep it in post. Yeah.
Nobody eats until my wife sits down. You can serve your plate or whatever as food's landing on the table or whatever, but let's wait. And then, we're people of faith, so we'll bless the food and show gratitude. And then nobody leaves the kitchen until the table's cleared and all the food's put in Tupperwares or Ziplocs and it's cleaned and put up. Now, did we do this perfect? Have I done this perfect? No. But I didn't do it at all before.
Right.
And, honoring our spouse or honoring our kids or honoring ourselves with these habits and routines we put into place, whether it's relational, financial, vocational, professional, physiological, emotional, mental, spiritual, show me your habits and I'll tell you where you're going to be in a year or two. Don't tell me what you want to do or what your vision board says. Visions are great. Actions is what brings it into reality. There's a great book I'd recommend everybody read called The Power of Decision. When you decide you want to get healthy, that's already half the battle. When you decide you want to be stronger, have more energy, show up better in your life for all the things that are important to you, once you make a decision, the universe starts to line up people, resources, things that will help you get there. And just like a parent decides, my kid is going to do martial arts. My kid's going to get their black belt. That's the biggest part of the thing, is them making the decision that they're going to commit to black belt.
And do you find that, because this is powerful, right? But do you find that there are people martial arts, we see this all the time, right? There's people that are curious and people that are serious, right? And in your industry, right? Which, well, in the health side of things, because you're in a couple different things, but do you find that people are curious? They're not committed, right? But they're curious, and then they kind of do it, and then they don't. And how do you help? Can you help people to make that decision to take action? Or is that something like you're just not ready? When you're ready, you'll know and you come back and make the decision? How do you guys take, because I'm sure you have a lot of people come into your circle that are in that category, that they want to do something, but maybe they're ready, maybe mentally they're not ready to do it. They might think they are, or they just want to learn more about it, but they haven't made that decision.
So just the program, the health coaching, the reason it's so great for martial arts schools and instructors and owners and program directors or husbands or wives to do is it's the same exact business. When someone calls your school and comes in for an introductory lesson, what do you have to do? You awaken their need, show them you can solve their problem and a solution, and then tell them how you're going to measure it. Why did you bring Johnny in for martial arts today? Johnny lacks confidence, getting picked on at school, but won't raise his hand in class. Well, one of the ways we address that, I'm going to address this in his introductory lesson, is we're going to have him answer questions for me, and then I'm going to give him praise and encourage that positive feedback loop. And then when will you think you'd be able to tell and report back to us if you see this? Well, when he speaks up at school, when he raises his hand in class, when his participation in class grade goes up. Great. So we'll be checking with that on his report card and speaking to him about that regularly. So the key to getting someone into the martial arts program, the black belt course, the leadership course, or a health program is awaken their need. Jeffrey Gitomer, who kind of took the place of Zig as the greatest sales trainer of all times out of New Jersey, says people hate to be sold, but people love to buy. And you get people to buy or agree to enroll in your school, enroll in your health coaching program, enroll in your advanced courses by awakening their need, sparking desire, and then providing an easy path to make a decision. So to your point, Shane, when we awaken people for health, we ask them when was the last time they felt good. Oh God, 20 years ago, Mike. I've been putting this weight on for 15 or 20 years. I felt like crap for 10 years. My wedding, before I had kids, when I was in college. And when someone admits to that in their own voice to you, our program's simple. Can you drink water and eat food? And then the other thing is you got to back it up with results. And both of you guys know the first 2 weeks of this program, the results come so fast. You're like, holy crap. So then you have to have proof. So it's awaken, answer their need, provide a solution, and then there's got to be proof. If a kid comes to your karate school for a month and he's a less confident person because the instructors are berating the students and the parents are witnessing this, you broke your promise, they're out. You lost credibility. If I tell people, hey, you're going to lose 5 pounds in your first week or more, and then you're going to be steady losing after that, as long as you follow the program, it works 100% of the time. But Mike, it works 100% of the time. The program we coach has never not worked. People stop doing the program. It's like, I promise you I'll get your kid the black belt, and they don't come to class for 3 months.
Yeah.
I can't steer a bicycle that's not being pedaled. Right. So, but to your point, you got to awaken people. And if people aren't ready, Shane, that's okay. It's in my awaken script. On a scale of 1 to 10, how important is your health to you to make a change right now to feel and look better? It's about a 5. Program's not for you. It's not time. What do you mean, Mike? I take it away.
Right.
How important is, and you guys, if you go on a martial arts school and you're on this call, how important is to you for your son or daughter to gain the attributes of a black belt leader? Confidence, discipline. When you started, you said you wanted them cleaning their own room. They're cleaning their room. You said you wanted them to get on the honor roll. They're on the honor roll. How important is you to pour concrete and rebar into those systems before your kids go to college? On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you want your kids to have those lifelong skills that a black belt leader has? 5, black belt course isn't for you. Take it away. Oh, I need my renewals. I need to upgrade. If you need people, you can't lead them. Right?
Yeah,
Be congruent. Now, if they're a 7.5 or higher, they're ready to go. Mike, I'd say I'm about an 8. Great. That's the level I need you to be for your decision and for your commitment, for you to have the greatest amount of success.
Right on. So without, I mean, what you know, I don't know what kind of detail you want to go in, but I think it's interesting. Let me give you a personal story, right? So it was about 7 months ago. I think it was about 7 months ago. So listen, I'll just call it a spade a spade. So I started with the program, had great results, and that's why I gave you the example. Oh, I'm feeling good. Like I'm feeling better than I have in years. I'm down in weight, and
okay. Wait, let's get some details here. How long? Because I remember, because you were working with Tony Fournier, who's one of my coaches on my team. Again, 90% of my coaches on my team are martial arts school owners or martial artists. So you were, you like needed to buy new clothes and stuff, or you were shopping in the back of your closet. You were like, how much weight did you lose initially?
I want to say right around 40 pounds.
Pretty quick too, right?
Yeah, it was like 3 or 4 months.
And you
maybe
felt
it was 3. Yeah,
it was. And then your energy, your sleep, all the stuff.
I felt great, and then I just drifted back into old habits. And then I'm like, why am I gaining so much weight? Like I just started putting on weight, and then I surpassed my heaviest ever, right? So last year, June, July, whatever it was, I went to a functional meds doc, right? And so we did blood panel, did the whole deal, and this isn't an excuse, by the way, right? But did the blood panel, and then went back for the appointment after they got the results, and they said, well, here's a problem. Your testosterone's 152. Now, this is a female doc. Hers is 250, right? My testosterone was 150. And she's like, and you basically have like no thyroid. So it's underactive. So she's like, that plays a problem, right? So here I am. Now I'm on newly developed in the last 8 months on thyroid meds, right? And doing testosterone TRT program protocol. And definitely have felt better, but still then didn't make a lot of lifestyle changes in the other things that are going on. Now, weeks ago, I'm like, I'm done. I'm going back to what I need to do, what I know works. And that's the level that I'm at now. So that's why, for me personally, it was like, hey, this is the roller coaster. And so.
And the blood test is important, right? Because our functional medicine doctor, my wife and I work with, my wife just got her blood drawn the other day. And we go every quarter because we are so committed to being, what I would say is, if you're going to go pro with your martial arts school, you need to go pro with your health. Period. So we, going pro with our health, we're blood work and all the stuff. You know what the biggest influencer of your thyroid and your testosterone and free testosterone is? Your insulin and what you eat that drives your insulin. So my testosterone, I'm 59, 5'11 and a half, I weigh 182. And my testosterone at 59 is just shy of 400. And my thyroid, is supercharged. But, the game of health is glycemic index, friends. So if you want to feel better, right away, dial in your bedtime. Your bedtime and your get up time and what you eat before you go to bed that blocks your insulin response, where your brain and body doesn't get what they need in growth hormone. If you have bread, pasta, rice, potatoes, French fries, corn, any starch or any sweets or any alcohol after 6 o'clock at night, you've wrecked your REM sleep. You've wrecked your growth hormone release because of the insulin response. Guess when your thyroid and all your hormones are repaired? During REM sleep at night, based on your insulin level. So like last night for dinner, I had steamed broccoli with butter. Butter's good for you. Fat isn't bad for you. Beef tallow is great for you. Avocados and walnuts are great for you. Right? Fat doesn't make you fat. Fat makes you healthy and makes your brain healthy. So I had broccoli with a ton of butter on it, fresh cracked pepper, pink Himalayan organic sea salt. And the meat that we had along with that was I cooked on the grill barbecued chicken legs and wait for it, my favorite, bacon. So, but Mike, bacon's bad for you. Okay, who told you that? But Mike, fruit's good for me. Who told you that? And please, if you want to feel better tomorrow, stop drinking fruit juice or just don't go drink a gallon of soda. Fruit juice is worse for you than soda because the glycemic response.
Right.
But Mike, Tropicana says it's good, part of a good breakfast. Of course they do. Right? So, but yeah, bro, I mean, you're doing the things. Keep your thyroid medicine, do your TRT, but how would you like to maximize those things?
Right.
Right. Food is medicine.
Yep.
What we drink is medicine. Like in Louisiana, people drink a gallon of sweet tea a day. Mike, I don't drink soda. Okay. Drink a gallon of sweet tea a day. Unsweet tea is from the devil. I can't even.
Yeah.
Well, figure it out. What do you want? It's a big thing. Like people, you guys are martial arts consultants. Well, I just don't. What do you want? Do you want 150 or 200 students, or don't you? I don't want to. I don't want to teach on Saturdays. I want Saturdays off. I want to go fishing. Okay. Well, what do you want? Or I don't want to do summer camps. Okay. Well, I thought you said you wanted to increase your revenue. You know, it's just we all get what we choose. It's painful to hear as adults, isn't it? Adulting, what a pain. You mean my decisions are driven by my choices and therefore my habits and therefore my results?
What a concept.
Yeah, that's interesting. You know, and you nail it, right? Like being a prisoner in your own body. I've felt this way with the exception of that stint that I was feeling really good, right? I felt that way for years. It's subconscious, and if I'm consciously paying attention, I'm thinking about weight every day in my mind, right? Perri, I don't know what was it that pushed you to get started and make the decision.
Yeah, we talk about excuses, right? So back in, well, when was it? Maybe June. My wife got pregnant, June of 2021, and yeah, so she got pregnant and she started gaining weight, and I wanted to be the supportive husband and say, hey, you know what? Why don't we gain weight together? So
you both were pregnant.
You did? Oh, honeycombs at 2:00 in the morning? Sure, I'll bring you some, babe. Doritos too? Okay, that was your craving. I'm going to help you out and support you. But anyways, and then little by little, I started developing a habit of not taking care of that, right? Then we had the baby. She lost all the weight, and I kept it on. And so finally there came a point after, this is the first child that I've had of my own, you start to realize things are a little bit more important than yourself. And I wanted to be having a child a little bit older in my life. I wanted to be around for that child a little bit longer. So that was what sparked the decision. And even then it took me a little bit of time to get there. And it wasn't until we started talking about how we could work together outside of just me personally, just Maya and Empower Health and Fitness and Mike Storms. I said, all right, let's just take the plunge. And I did. So at my heaviest, I was 2 pounds lighter than my heaviest. So the heaviest I ever weighed myself was 242 at 5'11", just kind of like you, Mike. And then did the program a weekend. I don't even know what it was, but I just weighed myself this morning, and I started 7.5 weeks ago, and I weighed him 211 today this morning, and I'm wearing a first time in a long time I've put a size large shirt on. So yeah, I'm happy with the results, but long term, think I'm happier with the ability to be around longer.
Well, that's the thing. What kind of grandparent? I mean, like, so Shane, to your point about pain, the program, like people call me and be like, my cardiologist, just one of my martial arts buddies in Long Island who lost 105 pounds, just kept it off. His cardiologist said, he, like you, Michael Perri, has had a son late in life. His cardiologist said, you're not going to see your son. You're not going to be at your son's high school graduation. You're going to be dead.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, most of them don't have the cojones to say that to people.
Right.
You're killing yourself. You're missing out on experiences and adventures with your family because you can't go, do you want to be the guy at Disney with the compression socks on in a little cart when you go there with your grandkids?
Depending on how hot it is. That's the only.
Oh my God, it's so true.
I'm kidding.
I don't want to be that guy. And then the most embarrassing part of it is my wife of 28 years looks the exact same as she did when I met her 28 years ago. She's 5'10", 125 pounds, and still has abs. So I would go to the beach and it would be like, there was an incongruency there that I was lying to myself about, all the funny things that we say.
But my personality is great.
But hey, or, I was going to say a couple of things. I just edited myself. I'm proud of myself. So it's, what do you want? How do you want to show up? How do you want to show up for yourself, show up for your spouse, show up for your kids, show up for your adventures in your life? We call ourselves as health coaches hope dealers. People's hope returns when they feel better and they have more juice and energy for their lives.
Right. Do you want to address that question? How is your program similar?
Oh, I see. Yeah, so Weight Watchers. Weight Watchers is a calorie restriction program. It doesn't focus on body chemistry. It's not a medically created program. And the thing that sets our program apart, the biggest thing, is the one-on-one coaching and our life book. We have a Tony Robbins level life coaching program that is part of our health program, because the founder of the system, who graduated #1 at his medical school at Johns Hopkins, said, unless we have mindset and behavioral change, we can't get long-term success for our clients. So on a weekly basis, you establish your why, you address your home of origin, you address your hang-ups, you address your food cravings, you address your mindset, you address your health emotion, you address the myths of health and nutrition that you have to, like this computer disk, we got to delete a lot of stuff. Juice is not good, right? Fasting is okay, but fasting is what you do for other things in health. It's not great for fat loss. Remember, people don't want to lose weight. Like Shane, you don't want to lose weight. You want to lose fat.
Yep.
When you do the program the way we do it, 90% of what you lose is fat. Because you got to have the right balance of protein throughout your journey to optimal health and well-being. And I don't like the word maintain. Your entire cell structure of your body changes all the time. You may maintain a scale number, but you're always upping your habits. You're always upping how you feel, how you look, how you perform, how you fuel yourself. I'm up to like at 184, depending on what my activities like are outside. Like I'm coaching football at Tulane, I'll drink like 1.5 gallons of water in a day to replace what I've sweated out. But it's a privilege to be invited into somebody's dreams and goals for what they want their future to look like. Whether it's with martial arts, with their kids and their family, and confidence, and skills development, but health and well-being Why shouldn't we have a nutrition department at our school? Why should the gyms and the nutritionists and the personal trainers get those people? When we are outstanding coaches, we have a deep heart for people and their transformation mentally, physically, confidence, emotional. And when we can address health, we can really serve a larger component of our community. And the great thing is you don't have to get out and advertise for them. They're in your viewing area. Hey, Charity.
Charity's
Yeah,
on.
Look at that
program. She's down 4% body fat.
I'll read the whole thing. Down 4% body fat and still building muscle. That's the goal, not weight loss, but optimal living. Glad I made the jump, she says.
Yes, her and Aaron are amazing people.
Yeah.
It was so funny. They came to our farm for a visit on their way to Florida for vacation. And we were just walking around, and my wife and I just, doing our thing. And, like my wife's 53 and she looks like she's 20. And I'm 59. And they're just like, well, what about that thing? We want to check it out. We've seen some of the people you're working with. And again, 75% of the people that join a martial arts school, if they're teens or adults, are looking to get in better shape. And 90% of it's what they eat and drink. So it's great to have a program that is plug and play that helps people get healthy.
Well, I think, the big takeaway for anybody that's, interested in taking the first step, right? Number one, start upping your water intake. I try to make it easy for myself. So I got, a flask, 40 ounces at a time, right? Drink 3 of those a day. And because it makes it easy, right? It's little, like, I'm just speaking candidly. Like I used to, I've seen the reports on our tap water around here, and I'm not a big fan of it, right? This is off topic. So I'd have bottles and bottles and bottles of water. Literally last week, I went out and bought a Brita filter, right? Just so I could fill it, dump it in. When I fill it again, dump it in. And it's been so easy. And if you can find those hacks that make things simple, I've seen people with 20-ounce shaker bottles. And they put 7 rubber bands on them. They slide a rubber band up every time they drink one of the things of water, right? Whatever you need to do for you. But I think we all need water. There's no question. Number one, right? If it's the right time or right decision for you, then I would, message Mike and chat with him further about, the program and things like that, if that's of interest to you. I also think that there's a lot of people on here or that watch, maybe not on here specifically, because this is a group of people that typically watch us on a regular basis and are sold on the idea of upgrades in the school. But there's a big portion of the industry that still looks at upgrades today as taboo. And like, it's, oh, you're a McDojo, you're this, you're that, you're all the things.
Sure.
Because they don't know how to provide value for their people and see them pay more. So to those people, I would tell you, if you can't understand how to provide value in your school by offering your people something that will truly save their life, and God forbid anything ever happen to anybody and they need to use their martial arts. But the reality is, like you said, the top 10 killers are lifestyle decisions, right? And choices that
people in your school, you're teaching self-defense. That's great. They're 100 times more likely to die of heart disease or stroke or a heart attack, particularly if they have a belly, that's the visceral fat around your organs that kills you, than they are from a carjacking or a home invasion.
That's right.
You're serving yourself.
Because we hear this all the time. Well, I want more students. Well, why do you want more students? Well, I want to make a bigger impact on the community. Now, if we really start peeling back the layers, there is a money facet to it. But to those people who don't want to admit to that making more money, if you want to have a bigger impact on your community, then this is an opportunity. And by the way, don't go do something that you're not willing to do yourself. Go do it. And I think what probably happened for you too, Mike, is that you did it. People in your school started noticing it, and you become essentially a walking billboard. And you're like, well, this is what I did. If it makes sense to you, go do it. Like,
simple, super simple. And to your point, I would agree with what you said, Griffin MMA. That's funny. I would agree with what you said about people, the starving artist syndrome, because we're martial artists. I want to make more impact. That's great. That's what I wanted to do too. That's why I wrote the Safer, Smarter Kids program, the first anti-abduction, anti-sexual abuse program in the martial arts industry in 1989. You know what I'm going to do? When I come to Maya, I'm going to give it away. I'm just going to give it to everybody that's at the meeting in Orlando. So
Great.
the 10 ways to raise a street smart child, the 10 ways to raise a drug free child. Sold over 1,000 of them to schools all over the country. It's just fantastic. So you want more impact. The money you earn is just a measurement of the impact you're making. Now, money's not important to me, Mike. I don't know about you, but my grocery bill and my electricity bill has gone up significantly this year. Average American needs an extra $5,200 in 2023 just to live the same exact lifestyle they had in 2022 because of insurance rates, electricity, fuel costs, and food. So you're gonna need more money. You want to live in your kid's basement when you're in your 80s? The reason my wife and I added health coaching was to help more people and because we were so far behind in our retirement accounts. We've since caught up in the last 4.5 years.
That's amazing.
We had credit card debt. We've since wiped out every penny of our credit card debt. We wanted to take a few nicer vacations. We've been able to do that. Our 20-year-old daughter was diagnosed with epilepsy. Significant expenses, special MRIs, all kinds of stuff. We were able to pay for all that. So
Mr. Perry's not going to tell you, but he's going to the bathroom because he's had so much water.
yeah, that's good. Money's a tool. Money's a tool. And whether it's retirement, credit card debt, college education for your kids, private school for your kids, braces for your kids, a safer car, whatever it is, your service and impact in your communities is greatly needed as a martial arts school owner. Keep doing that. Do it the best you can. Help as many people as you can. This is just another little way you can help more people, and they're already in your viewing areas and on your email list.
That's right. And by default, you know, as instructors in your school, you are leaders, whether you decide that you want to be or not. You're looked at as a leader in your in your industry and in your community, and
Sure.
Eyes are always on you. So, look, I'm excited to see you and see you again in person next week, my friend. I think it'll be a great opportunity. We've only scratched the surface on the depth of knowledge that you have and the ability to be able to help people. So, definitely excited to see you. I maybe address this one last question. Miss Jo Nelson has here: caffeine, good, bad?
Well, that's a very good question. It depends, caffeine, right? I drink a cup of coffee in the morning. Now, I would say this, it's 8 ounces. It's not a thermos of coffee. I drink a cup, 8 ounces. And then, Miss Joanne, I also drink an 8-ounce cup of coffee when I get off this call at around 1 o'clock. What I don't do is I don't load it with vanilla syrup and high fructose corn syrup and other stuff. I do put a couple of tablespoons of milk in it. Make sense? So sleep problems, caffeine has a 5 or 6 hour half-life. You're having caffeine at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you're going to have trouble going to sleep. Does that make sense?
Yep, 100%.
Certainly, you know, Joanne, we don't want you going cold turkey with no caffeine. You might hurt somebody. That's all I got to say about that.
She definitely will. I know her well. She definitely would hurt somebody.
Right.
That's great. Great.
All right, guys. Been a pleasure as always.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And
all right. We'll look forward to seeing you next week, sir. I'm excited to see you in person and catch up.
My number one coach, owner of Top Kick, John Cassidy, will be joining me as well.
Right.
And I know everybody knows John. He's been in the industry forever there in Virginia. And I look forward to sharing the 6 macro habits of health with everybody and giving them some great takeaways that they can implement right away in their lives to make themselves healthier so they can fulfill their mission and live the dreams that they have for their school, for their families, for themselves.
Amazing.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, and thank you for taking the time today. We appreciate you, my friend.
My pleasure, gentlemen. Thank you. I appreciate you guys.
All right. Take care, everybody. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Talk soon.